Okay, just a minute. Already I prepared one program. Struct. Okay. Okay. In this program, in this program, it is an example of structure using structure within structure or nested structure. Okay, already as per our earlier discussion, the student is the main structure. Okay, that contains three fields are there: name, year, and marks. Marks is not marks is one of the field of the student, as well as that is one of the structure of the marks. So again the marks contains three fields are there: S1, S2, S3. Now we declared as a marks in the substructure of the student. Now our question is how we can access the structure within the structure values. Okay, uh, earlier in the last class the same program is not executed properly, so that's why now I want to explain the same program with the proper outputs. Okay, so now the main structure is the student. Now structure variable name is capital S. Okay, the capital S can access the name, year, and marks. If you take marks again, a dot operator is access that provide the accessibility between our structure variable and the fields of the structure. So again we know three fields are there, three members are there in the uh, marks. So that's why the three members are displayed here. Don't think this window. Okay, it's very simple, but 100% you can type in the Turbo C++. Because of for good presentation only, I selected this one. There is no difference between the Turbo C and this. Now what ID I am using? No problem. Don't think about this point. Just for only for our convenience only, we can choose available editors. So in that way, we can access the capital S is the main structure name. And next, the capital X dot S dot means it can access fields of the student. Three fields are there. And again, M is one of the field, but M is the one of the structure, as well as it is field, as well as it is one of the structure. That's why M dot it can access some of the fields of the marks. So that's why S dot M dot yes. In that way, we can provide the accessibility between main structure components and the substructure components. Okay, enter the data for student. Okay, we can pass the values. S dot name, S dot year is the within the main structure, and S dot M is pointing to the marks structure. And again, marks contains three fields are there: S1, S2, S3. In that way, okay, according to their format specifiers, name contains string. Next one year, that is the numerical value. Marks one, S1 marks, that is a numerical value. S2 and S3 both are integer values. That's why format specifier percentage. Next, the student complete information. The student complete information. Next, how um, how I print the information from the structure. I printed the information from the structure. I divide into two parts. First, to print the main structure information, main structure and its fields within a single printf statement. Okay, in this first printf statement, we are going to print student. Okay, we are going to print only student name and year. So these two fields are related to first structure. Okay, next in the next printf statement, marks are given. That marks are namely called as S1, S2, S3. These are the second structure fields. How we can access? S dot M dot S1, S dot M dot S2, S dot M dot S3. In that way, we can access the information from the information from the uh, nested structures. Let us verify it. Output. Okay, enter the data. What is the first information? Name. So we can give any name. You can give any name. Next, which year he is studying? First year. Next, marks. You have to give 3 individual marks. The name of the student complete information. Name of the student ABCD. Year of the student first year. Marks 56, 78, and 90. Okay. In the previous class, this type of outputs are not printed because some errors. So that's why, but it is very important concept. That's why I corrected and repeated to you again. Okay, that is a matter about structure within structure. The structure within structure, namely called as nested structure as well as structure within structure. That is the difference. That is the concept of structure within structure. Okay, next come to the next point. Here, one more pending concept is there. Difference between union and structure. That is also important. That is not cleared yesterday. Just I explained theory about the union and union. Let us verify proper example of union and structures. Okay, that is the next concept. Okay, okay. It seems both union and structures are, it seems, quite common, except the keywords of union and structure. Remaining things are quite common. We are using name as, but have to use different names. But I have to use different name. One is a different names. Why I used the different name means within the same program I used the same. It is not allowed the same program. Uh, Variable name. So student have next structure must declare one more different name. So that's why I declared the student name, student and student. But entire the information is very quite common. Okay, now let us verify the size occupied by union and structure. What how many bytes of the information how many bytes occupied by the union and structure? Let us verify. Earlier discussion, what is our discussion? First, let us verify the structure. What is the total size of the student? Okay, this information, this students information, students structure is holding three type of information: name and roll number and average. Okay, come to the variable of data type of each and every variable. Okay, first one is a character. Character. How many characters are there? 20 characters. So 1 into 20 equal to 20 bytes. 20 bytes. Next, integer. Roll number is declared as integer. Okay, basically integer occupies 20 bytes, 2 bytes, but here it is a 64-bit 64-bit software. So that's why it here it occupies 4 bytes. 4 bytes. You have to remember how many bytes are used stored per name. 20 bytes, and for the roll number it occupies 4 bytes, and float average declared as a float. Okay, it occupies 4 bytes. 4 bytes. Totally, how many bytes are occupied here? 20 plus 4 plus 4. Totally, totally, total, totally 28 bytes. Bytes occupied for the students. Okay, okay. Let us verify the same information here. Okay, first let us de-highlight that one. Okay, okay. First, let us verify the size of the size of the structure. Size of the structure. Okay, the size of the structure. What is the size of the, okay, what is the x value here? We declared x as a student's structure. We declared x as a student structure. Student structure. So now let us verify. According to our discussion, it occupies 28 bytes. Okay, so that may be our expected output. So let us verify that output. The size of the structure is 28 bytes. Okay, according to our discussion, the structure or structure variable occupies 28 bytes. Why it occupies 28 bytes? There are three fields are there. First one is the name, it occupies 20 bytes. Roll number is declared as integer. Generally, it occupies 2 bytes, but because of 64 bytes or 64 bit software, it occupies 4 bytes. Remaining next average declared as a float type, it occupies 4 bytes. Totally, for to store to hold the three variables, it occupies 28 bytes. So that is the discussion about the size of the structure. Next, let us verify the size of the student. Same thing is happened. Okay, same thing. Why same thing? Okay, for storing name, it occupies 20 bytes. Next year, roll number it occupies 4 bytes. And next, average occupies 4 bytes. But according to previous discussion, structure variable occupies 28 bytes, but it is not possible in the union. In the union, it can choose one of the maximum size. One of the maximum size. What is the maximum size? Okay, 20 is the maximum size. Okay, 4 and the remaining 4 is also minimum size. There is no summation. Out of all available memory spaces, it can choose one of the maximum available size. Here 20 bytes are the maximum available size. That so the union occupies only maximum available size. So here maximum available size is the 20 bytes. Let us verify practically also. Okay, the size of the union. Okay, the size of the already student union student. S is a variable of the union student, and size of the size of the, already, size of is one of the operator in C language. It can display the total number of bytes occupied by that variable. So you know S is a variable of union student. So how much of space is occupied by the union? Let us verify. Okay. Size of the union 20, size of the structure 28. So what base it occupies 20 bytes? According to here, one discussion is there. What is the discussion? Name occupies 20 bytes. For suppose the name occupies 60 bytes. 60 bytes. Let us verify the checking also. The checking. Now output becomes 60. Sorry. I have to save that. Okay, in that way, the union can occupies only maximum size available, available maximum available size in that sorry I change within this within this structure. Now let us verify 60 here. Okay, what may be our output? Our output must become 60. Next, the same thing, if you have the name of the variable, name of the student name, it becomes 60. Then total size of the structure is 68. So that is the difference between, that is the major difference between the structure and a unit. Okay, next. Yesterday, one more important point also not completed. That is, how we can access union values, union variables. Okay. In this example, you can see, okay, two type of accessing are there. One is, okay, in this practice we can use only union, just only compare, for the comparison purpose only I use the structure. So remaining all things I have to explain about only union. So that's why I will use only capital S as a union variable. Okay, first let us print print the uh, get the input and output of the student, how we can store the information into the union, and how we can access the information from union. Let us verify very clearly. First, printf enter the student details. Next, according to the field and the order of the fields, we can enter the information. Next, okay, if you print all the information at a time, it is not possible, it will give error output. Why? Let us verify one error output, then we can take the proper information. Okay, roll number 301 and the average. Okay, in this output you can verify very clearly student details. Name, what is the what name we given, Kumar is the given name, and here what name is printed, some different symbol and along with the D, that is printed, that is one of the wrong output. Next, roll number, what number is given, 301 is a given information, but output is different, output is there. Average 34.567 is there, output is same. So this is not the proper way to access the information from the union. Why? Because it occupies only one location. The, in this program, what is the total size of the union? 20 bytes. The 20 bytes are allotted for one time, that is allotted for name. From the that time only we can access the name. Next time, that's total 20 bytes are allotted for roll number. Then we can access the roll number. Next time, that information, that memory location stores the average information. Then we can access the average information. Like that, only we can access the information. Okay, then we can provide the proper information. Please, all of you students, within 1 minute our session is going to close. Please log in whenever it is closed. Please ready for that, re-log in. Okay, whenever it is closed. Until that, I will explain. Next, the proper way in union, don't access all the information at a time. You have to access each and every component. Okay, the previous process is not the proper way. Previous process is not the proper way to access the union operation. Now let us verify the best way of union access. Okay, you have to access each and every field of the union only. That is the proper way to access. First, enter the name. Okay, out of 20 bytes of the memory location, out of the 20 bytes of the memory location, uh, the name, first field, the name is override there. So the 20 bytes of memory location is utilized by name. From now we can store the name and we can access the name. Next, next we can store the name and print the name. Next time, roll number. The same 20 bytes of memory location which is allocated by the union, now that is replaced by roll number. Okay, only one field can utilize that available field. All fields are not access the same field. Why? Because size is very limited. So that's why the replacement is there. That is the behavior of the, that is the behavior of the buffer space. Okay, so like, so that's why name, passed and printed, roll number and average individually, all these informations are, all these informations are provided, executed properly. Okay, it is this output is related to previous one. Previous one means that is a no, wrong process to access the union. So that's why our here given name is Kumar, but printed name is some different name there. And roll number is also, we are given 3, but roll number is given very big number. But next average is 334.56. That only printed. Why? Because it occupies at a time the total memory space. In our example, in this output, union occupies 20 bytes. Out of the 20 bytes, only one field can access. One field can store, one field can access. So that's why the average field, finally, what is the final field? Final member of the union, average. Average occupies that. Finally, that occupies 20 bytes, and that can give the print as a print properly. So that's why average printing property. Next, let us verify the proper execution of the union. Okay, we printed Kumar. Now the 20 bytes are allocated for that name. Then the information is printed. Next, now the 20 bytes are allocated for the roll number. So that the 20 bytes are that roll number occupied, and that is stored and printed. Next, average also printed. So this is the proper way to utilize the unions. So mainly in this output you can find what is the how much size occupied by the structure, 28. Next, union occupies 20. What is the difference? Union occupies only maximum available space in the field. That is the union structure. There is no verification. It occupies the total size required according to the fields only. Three, for suppose the structure contains 3 fields. How much bytes are allocated needed to occupy the three information? That much of memory space is allocated. So we can store information in structures permanently. Permanently means fixedly. But union, that is just works just like the buffer space. So the save space is utilized by so many members of the union. So that is the main difference. It is very important for exam point of view. Okay, what is the question? What is question is have to write about difference between structure and union. That is the question. You have to give all answers. What is the first one? Size, keyword difference, and how we can explain the differences between structure and union. One is the keyword. Next, size, how much bytes are occupied. Next, how we can access properly in the structure and union. That is the answer for that question. Now let us finish the session. The session is um, uh, uh, some pending concepts in structures. That is over now. That holds okay, for recording purpose I can repeat again, sorry. Okay, what is the definition of the for recording purpose? Please listen. Recording purpose. Till now, pointers are not recorded. Just a minute. What is a pointer? Pointer is a variable which holds the address of another variable. Here, in this example, what is a variable? A is a variable. We know very well. A is a variable. Mm, a is a variable. What is the value in variable? 10 is the variable. 10 is the value. Next, where A located in the memory location? Let us assume 5000 is the location of the variable A. Okay, it is not fixed. 5000 is not the fixed. We cannot fix it. It is system dependent or compiler dependent. Randomly from the RAM means random access memory. Randomly the RAM can assign particular location for the particular variable. Location means address. In that way, for the variable A, one location is assigned. In that memory location, we are going to store the value 10. Now come to the pointer definition. Okay, P just like the variable. Okay, P also one of the variable that is called as pointer variable. What is the extra behavior of the pointer variable? That holds the address of the variable, but that cannot hold the value. That cannot hold the value. That holds only address of another variable. Here, what is another variable? A is the another variable. Where is that? Where? What is the location of A? 5000. That is that address is located in P. Now P can access the address of A. Address of A. Then if we access the address of A, then we can access the information from the A also. If you access the address, then we can access the value. That is the secret of this pointer, as well as P is a pointer variable, and that also stored in particular location. 5048 is a location of the variable. 5048 is the location of the variable. Okay, now we have to discuss about two different points. How we can declare, how we can access the pointer. Okay, now let us verify. Uh, Here you can see one new symbol star P. Whenever you want to, whenever you want to declare any pointer variable, have to. Okay, there are two symbols you have to use, especially here star. Okay, star and ampersand. So ampersand is the address value. Next star is the star to access the information. Here, where we can declare the star and access. Okay, first initially you have to declare pointer variable pt. In that way, you have to declare. Okay, star pt is nothing but whenever you use star before the variable, that variable becomes pointer. Without this symbol, without this symbol, the pointer it is not. Without this symbol, the pt is a common variable. With the star operator only, that point pt called as a pointer variable. Next, how we can assign the values to pointer variable. Okay, here pt is the pointer variable that holds the address of a. Here already a is there. A is there. A contains 10 value. Now pt equal to address of A. What? A contains A contains 10, but where the A located? 500 location. Next, print star means it prints the value of A. Let us verify practically. In practical it is very clear. Let us go to the practical session. It's very clear how we can declare the pointer variables, how we can assign the information to the pointers, how we can print the information from the pointers. Let us verify 9 practically. Okay. Already programs are prepared. I will explain one simple program and let us close the session. Okay. I will explain new editor. Okay. Let us start with the initial concept of the pointer. Int a, int int star p. Next a equal to 10, a equal to 10. Next b equal to ampersand a, ampersand a. Let us print the output. Printf enter the next printf printf print address of a slash n, address of a percentage d, okay, ampersand a. Okay, address of a, some different information is given. Okay, address of a, some different information is given. Okay, that is the address. Okay, okay, that is the address of a. Let us verify. There are so many ways to access the address of a. same information we can see address of A using how it is possible you here P. So it is very simple. Okay, here is a new notation for you. P. What is the P value? P equal to and ampersand of A. What is ampersand of A? Address of A. Some previous printed location. Now P equal to that address that is printed here. So next address is always unsigned integer. So that's why I used different format specifier unsigned U. So that is the address. Let us verify. Same information will be printed. Same information. Same information will be printed on the screen. Next, how we can access the data? How we can print the value of A in different way? Okay, printf the data in the A value is percentage D D A. So that is quite common. Just we can generally we can print the information from variable. That is the common. Printf. Okay. So the value is 10. Okay. Next, so it is a common. Next, again, you have to access the data from P. P also. That is the important and new concept here. Okay. Star P. So star P. The star P actually what here star P is a pointer variable. P equal to ampersand of A. P equal to address of A that holds the information. Next, ampersand A is the address. From that address, how we can access the data? By using star, we can access the data from that location. Let us verify the output. Okay, the value printed. Okay, output, we are getting output properly, but how we are getting the proper output means here in this example address of the A by using ampersand A. Next, the same address of A by using P. What is P? P equal to ampersand of A. Next, value of A directly we are printed. Next, value of A by using print by using P. What is P? P is a pointer star P. Star P, star P is nothing but value value in uh, ampersand a, value in ampersand of a. So value in ampersand of a. So that is the star p. So star always gives the value from the specified location. Okay, so that is a simple understanding of the pointers. In the following classes, what are the topics means? Okay, pointers, pointers. Second one, um, arithmetic, arithmetic operations, operations in the pointer. Next, third point, arrays, arrays in the pointers. Next, fourth one, structure, structures in the pointers. So these are the four concepts are there in this pointer. So it is completed, is completed. Remaining two topics: how we can perform the arithmetic operations in pointers. Next concept is arrays in the pointers, structures in the pointers. Finally, finally one more concept is uh, fifth one, pointers to pointers. So there are remaining four concepts are pending about these pointers. Tomorrow we can finish that pointer pending concepts also. Okay, before that, the introduction of the pointer concept is very important. Okay, please go through given videos. Okay, okay. Thank you for all participants. Now I closing the session.